Hey guys, Born to Lose here. Beautiful day out. Pretty nice for fall, but it is fall, which brings me to the point of this video. You're looking at my Bugout vehicle, a 2008 Jeep Wrangler JK, which you've seen in other videos. Apologize for the harsh lighting with this sun. But with the Fall Fest approaching, there are some maintenance items and things you want to do to your Bugout vehicle to get it ready for winter. And I was under the other day doing some routine maintenance and noticed that I have some rust on my gas tank skid plate, the factory OEM skid plate. And so today we're going to be rust proofing it using POR 15, POR 15, which is a great, I think the best rust proofing product available. So I'm going to show you the product in a second, and then we're going to take a look at what we're going to be rust proofing. Okay, so here are the products we're going to be using to doing the rust proofing. This is a system that is recommended by POR 15. We're going to start by removing some of the surface rust with sandpaper. And the great thing about POR 15 though is it bonds to the rust and actually uses the rust for strength. Unlike just, spraying it with a rattle can of Rust-Oleum or paint or something like that. So we don't have to take off that much, just a little surface rust. The next step, we're going to be using this Marine Clean, which will clean the surface. And then we will rinse between that and our next product, which is Metal Ready. It comes in this large size bottle here. I've poured it into a spray bottle for easier use. This stays on, I believe, for around 15 minutes and actually makes an etch into the metal, which creates a surface that the POR 15 will bond to much better. And then finally, this is POR 15. It's almost like a lacquer type finish. It comes in one of these kind of paint cans. We will mix it up and then we will be applying that with a brush. You could do, I always do 2 coats. For added protection, and then after the POR 15 dries, at that time you do want to hit it with a rattle can of some, Rust-Oleum. In this case we'll be using flat black Rust-Oleum, and that's because POR 15 is sensitive to UV light, so it will chip and flake and peel off if it is exposed to UV light for an extended period of time, and so the paint helps cover the POR 15. So this is the system we're going to be using. Now we're going to take a look at the spot we're going to be treating. Okay guys, so this is the gas tank skid. It extends from this cross member all the way back and ends right before the rear axle. As you can see, the top part not too bad here. I had sanded this down and treated this a while ago, so it's doing okay. But if we look at the middle, we're getting some rust, not an exorbitant amount on this skid plate here, but some rust. And I just want to treat it before it gets worse. There's more down here. And the reason I believe I'm getting this rust is I probably dragged this skid along a rock at some point, which is what it's there for, but the factory finish is not so great for that, and so now we're getting some rust. So the first step is I'm going to sand it down with some medium grit sandpaper, and you'll want to wear gloves for that. So I'm going to complete the sanding process and then we will come back and take a look. And I've started to sand it down. Like I said, you don't need to go crazy with this because the POR 15 will actually bond to the rust. You just want to get rid of some of the surface rust in preparation for the Marine Clean, and then we'll be doing the etching, which, by the way, I read the bottle. I did forget. I said 15 minutes. It is 30 minutes to let it etch into the metal before applying the actual coating of POR 15. You also want to do this on a nice day. Ideally, 50 to 75 degrees or so. Should probably go a little higher, maybe 80. And because it's been very cold lately, I haven't done it, but we got a nice day now, so I figured I would do it. So I'm going to finish sanding this, and then I will come back and be doing the next step. Okay, I've gotten the majority of the rust off, enough where we will be able to do this coat. of Pour 15. I'm now going to be cleaning this down with a damp rag, and then we will be applying the marine cleaner. This would have, there's a little spot here I missed. This would have gone faster with the sandblaster, obviously, or if you were to drop the skid plate off the vehicle and do it with it off the vehicle. However, I don't want to really go through all that trouble for just a little rust, and I can get under here just fine and get this done. So now we're going to be moving on to the marine clean. Okay, now we have the Pour 15 marine clean. We're just going to lightly spray it. It does not take much. And then you're going to want to hose it off with water because it's bad to let that sit on there for a long period of time. This is more concentrated than other degreasers, say like Simple Green. So a little bit is going to go a long way here. Be careful not to get it in your face or eyes. Very important. Oh, you got to open the bottle up first here. Get it going through the pump. There we go. Now we're just going to liberally spray some on. Again, you don't have to go nuts. Don't get this in your eyes or your face. So be very careful. You can smell right away how potent it is. And that should do it. Once I hose this off, that will be enough. All we need. So I'm now going to hose it off, and then we'll come back and get ready for the metal etch. Okay, so we've gone ahead and hosed it off. I give it a real good hosing because you want to get all of that degreaser off. And then you want to use clean shop rags to kind of wipe it down. I mean, any clean towel will do. A towel, obviously, you don't mind ruining. A clean shop, it's got to be clean, though, because, for instance, you don't want to use a greasy shop rag because that defeats the whole purpose of doing the marine clean and degreasing everything and getting it ready for prep for the metal etch. So we're going to just dry this off. It'd be nicer if it was a little warmer out today because this would dry more on its own, but you take what you can get. As you can see, almost all the rust is now gone. I sanded off, and that marine clean took the rest pretty much right off. So I'm going to finish drying this, and then we'll get ready to do the second step in the process, which is the metal etch. Okay, now we're going to be applying the solution of metal etch, which has been poured from the large bottle into the spray bottle. You want to be wearing gloves, especially at this point in the process, for both the metal etch and the Pour 15. Whether it's work gloves or that you don't mind, ruining, or latex gloves. This stuff is really bad for you, really bad for your skin. I'm not wearing a respirator, but some people might want to do that as well. Especially if you're going to spray this stuff on. The Pour 15 I don't recommend spraying on. It's a brush-on application because it's so thick you'll ruin your spray gun. So we're just going to get the metal etch bottle where I need it to be, a light mist, just like that. You don't want to spray it on anything else but what you want to etch. So be very careful. Just give it a light coat where you need it to go. And again, try not to spray it too much on any other parts you might need to etch. Or rather, you wouldn't want to etch. Okay, get some up here. So the etch has pretty much been sprayed on now. Now that etch should sit for about a half hour, maybe a little longer if it's below 70 degrees like it is today. So I might give it like 45 minutes. So we're going to let it sit, and then I will come back and we will rinse off and apply the final coating of Pour 15.